I like Bach. I like rock. I also like cottage cheese pancakes, especially when they are topped with sweet oven-roasted strawberries. It's a main course that you can serve for breakfast, brunch, or even dinner. And it's as delicious as a Chopin waltz. So this recipe starts with a pound of strawberries, although you might want to double the recipe because roasted strawberries are super delicious. You could put them on yogurt, on oatmeal, on ice cream, anything. You'll really love them. And you'll need a pound of strawberries, and keep in mind that the larger the strawberry, the less flavor it has. So if you can actually pick your own strawberries, you want to go with the medium and small size. They are bursting with flavor. And what I do is just pull off the leaves, trim the leaf end, and for big strawberries, I cut them in quarters. And for the small strawberries, or medium size, I just cut them in half. And then we sweeten them up. So just take a half cup of sugar, throw it over the top, give it a quick stir with a spatula. Of course, you want a blue spatula for this job. And then grab a baking dish. I'm going to use a gratin pan and just pour the strawberries and all the sugar in and roast them in a preheated 450-degree oven for 18 to 20 minutes. Wow. Oh, wait till you smell this. And let me get a spoon. Now, if you can see all of the juices that have come out, these will thicken up as the strawberries cool. And you can store them, if you're not going to use them right away, you can store them in a jar. I'll show you. Like this, where they will keep for a good 3 weeks in the refrigerator. Of course, they really won't last more than an hour because once you taste them, you'll want to put them on everything. Okay, so I'm going to move this back to let them cool. They should cool for at least 10 minutes before you use them. And now we can get ready to make our pancakes. Believe it or not, cottage cheese pancakes are actually low in carbs. They're mostly eggs and cottage cheese and only a tiny amount of flour. And what you do is crack 6 eggs into a blender. And you don't need a high-end blender for this. Just any old blender will do. And 1.5 cups of cottage cheese. I'm using full-fat cottage cheese, but you could use any cottage cheese with any fat content that you are comfortable with. I'm always more comfortable with high-fat things. And then we need 1/2 teaspoon salt. I'm using kosher salt because I like the taste. And just a scant 1/4 teaspoon of baking powder. By the way, with baking powder, never store it over your oven because it can go bad very quickly. Keep it in a dry, cool place, like a cabinet, far, far away from your stove. And finally, making sure I didn't forget anything, in goes just half cup of flour. And by the way, you can use gluten-free flour. I've made these same pancakes using one of Bob's Red Mill gluten-free baking mixes or whatever they're called, and it worked out absolutely fine. Put the lid on. Make sure the lid is on tight, and then stand back. How easy was that? I've preheated my electric skillet to 300 degrees. I've also greased it. You can use any skillet you like. You can use cast iron skillet, a non-stick pancake griddle. Use whatever you have. And then ladle by the quarter cupful the batter onto the hot skillet. Can you see how yellow these are? That's from all of the eggs we used. Again, these are really high in protein, low in carbs. Of course, they won't be low in carbs after we top them with the strawberries, but we won't talk about that. And you just let them cook for a couple of minutes or until you see bubbles form on top and the edges look a little dry. Can you see all of the bubbles on top? This means it's time to flip the pancakes over. Ooh, these look good. Oops. Flip. And these only have to cook for about 30 seconds on the underside or until they turn lightly brown. And if breakfast is going to be delayed, you can always put the pancakes on a cookie sheet and just keep them warm in a 200-degree oven for up to 30 minutes. They'll be perfectly fine. Now, these pancakes are piping hot. If you're like me, you'll top it with some butter. And then our absolutely gorgeous, that's Lily the Biggle. She wants her portion. Some of the gorgeous, gorgeous strawberries and their juices. I'm sorry, but she is very food oriented. And now, of course, we have to taste this. These are so creamy. You'd hardly know there was almost no flour in here. Strawberries are sweet and wonderful, and they have this intense roasted flavor. Promise me you'll make this dish someday. Also, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. There's a little red box over here somewhere. Click it so you can subscribe. And also, if you'd like to see this recipe, just visit my website, kevinleejacobs.com. I'll see you next time. Bye.